Welcome to the J.R. Eldridge Show with the head coach of the 2014 Arkadelphia Football Badgers. The production of the J.R. Eldridge Show is made possible with help from Arnold Batson Turner & Turner, attorneys at law; Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments; Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance; Southwest Sporting Goods; and ESPN Radio 106.9 in Arkadelphia.
Welcome to the J.R. Eldridge Show. I'm your host, Jackson Carter, and here alongside me is head coach of the Arkadelphia Badgers, Coach Eldridge. Coach, thanks for being here this week.
It's great to be here.
Okay, so homecoming, an undefeated team in Mena coming into this game. You guys come out there, pull out a big win, and you're at the top of the lead. You share the lead for the top of the position in the conference. Talk about how important of a win that was.
Yeah, I think it was really big for our players. I thought they did an excellent job throughout the week preparing for the football game. You know, our goal or objective was to try to create a better than ever homecoming by our performance on the field. And I felt like our players really took that to heart. I thought that they were really able to stay in control of themselves, execute the plan, play as hard as they could. I mean, obviously we had some miscues. There were some things that we could have done to really put that game away earlier. But I felt like our players did a really good job of preparing for that football game. And we beat a good football team. Mena's a good football team. They play extremely hard. They don't make many mistakes. So, you know, I felt good about our players' performance.
Well, I was about to see on the highlight tape, really, it seemed like both teams knew what was at stake here at this game, and they really came out firing. And so for homecoming, what is there anything that you're telling your guys before this game, or do you just same old business kind of thing, just getting these guys ready for just another football game?
Yeah, really, the biggest, you know, with homecoming comes a lot of distractions, stuff that goes on outside of the actual game. So what we wanted to do was focus on our performance on the field in our preparation for it. You know, and so I felt like our guys did a really good job of doing that. You can see our running game working very well. We were able to rush for 254 yards, I think. So really proud of our offensive linemen. I felt like they did a great job, and our perimeter blocking was better. And so we were able to control the line of scrimmage and do some really good things offensively. And then defensively, I felt like having Emmanuel Cooper back was really good for our defensive line, but also our whole defense played together as a unit, and we were able to create 2 turnovers, which was huge for us. I think their first drive, they ended up scoring. We didn't get in the box on the first drive, and we gave the ball right back to them. Our guys on kickoff return, we've got to be able to see the ball off the foot, and I don't think we did a great job of that, so we got to get that corrected.
Well, one thing good coming out of this, though, is your defense was really able to step up right there and force the turnover on downs. You get the ball back, and then your guys start to drive. Yeah,
it really did. You see right there, Jeff Blake makes a great throw, good catch by Jay Brooks, and start off a good drive right here. Ty doing an excellent job running the football here. Jeff had a great night running, and Ty Costers, really his blocking was outstanding. Jeff, you know, really doing a great job of accelerating through the hole once he gets his read. So really excited about the way not only our offensive line played, but our offensive skill guys played.
You talked about blocking a little bit. You said perimeter, and one thing that definitely was prevalent because you guys, when you use the bubble a lot, you seem to try and expand the field wide side. But really, your offensive line did a great job blocking, and then Chris Cervantes right there, you know, backed up on the kickoff, and he puts it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, that was really huge because we had to back it up. They made us kick it again, and it actually worked in our favor to give them worse field position than they would have had. You can see right here our guys just flying to the football. One of the things that we've been trying to talk about lately is having a party at the ball. Trying to get all 11 guys to that football on every play. Thought Adrian Barrett had an excellent game on his special teams. Not only defensively had a great game, he had a pick, but he also he had 3 returns for 77 yards,
Wow.
which is not great at math, but I think that's over a 25-yard average per punt return. You see Ty Coster's on that last play getting a pancake block off the edge there. Really, really glad about that. And then our punt coverage right there was really good, and we gave our defense decent field position to work with there.
And you talk about Adrian Barrett being able to do great on his returns, and then Ty Coster's right there on the punt return. It seemed like, you know, your team really won the battle of field position, and because of that, it set Mena up in awkward positions trying to go right there. And a great breakup pass by Brandon Moore right there. But it set your guys up always with good field position. A great conversion right there by Ty Costers. But every time when it sets your guys up with good field position, it seems like you're really just able to execute every time.
Yeah, it really did. Adrian did a great job of flipping that field position on his punt returns, and then also just the defense and offense working together there. And then you see Jeff Blake accelerating through the hole again. You know, Nathan Carter, saw him on a tackle on the hitch screen earlier. Nathan was our defensive player of the game. Really, Adrian Barrett and Nathan Carter really just had excellent games for us. Did a great job. So excited about them and what they did this past week.
Really one of the few miscues of the game, the running back right there for me, a very fast guy, just able to hit one of the holes. But it seemed right after this, your guys were able to come back, make some adjustments, and not only defensively improve, but right there, kickoff coverage wasn't a problem for the rest of the game. Yeah,
I think they took coaching on the sideline. It's a good job by Nathan of fielding the tough ball. We've got to get better at our coverage. We can't have a miscue like that, and we know that. And really, one of the things that we're talking about to our players is not relaxing and making sure that you put on more steam no matter what play it is, no matter what's going on in the game, whether you're up, you're down, whatever it is, you just got to put on more steam. And we can't relax in situations. I felt like we did that a little bit on kickoff coverage. Then we did it on defense right before the end of the half. We let them score at the very end of the half. And then offensively, when we were given those turnovers, we've got to go out there and score. And we're going to work. We've got a couple things that we're going to do in practice to help train us to do those things correctly.
A big miscue for Mena right here. A high snap goes over the top of his head. Your guys are able to get there fast enough where the quarterback just has to feel like he has to throw it up back in the end zone. You go up by 2, and then you just keep forcing this kicker to make him kick it in the middle on the field to give him field to play. And again, you get great starting field position right here.
Yeah, this is really good for us right here. That was one of the few times that they made that Mena, we caught a break from Mena, and that's one of the things that makes them a good football team is they don't make many mistakes like that. So we were able to take advantage of that, get it in the box here before the half and go up, I think, 23-14 here.
And Chris Cervantes puts in the field goal, and we didn't talk about it a lot last week, but this week, again, he's really become automatic from the PAT, and then we'll see later in this game where he makes a 30-plus yard field goal as well.
Yeah, he's been doing an excellent job on our PATs and field goals. He gets the field goal later on in the game, so excited about that. Again, this is one point in the game that I felt like we just kind of relaxed, and we didn't finish well defensively there. And then again, offensively, we got to take advantage of the times where we get those turnovers, where the defense creates those turnovers for us.
Going into the half up by 1 point, you come out, a big drive right here for me to start off, and your defense comes out and does a good job.
They really did. I thought defensively in the second half, we really played hard, really played well, gave us the opportunity to get the ball in good position offensively, and we were able to, I think we scored 17 points in the second half. They answered with 6, so really second half we outscored them by 11 points. So excited about that, the way our defense and offense work together. You can see right there our defense trying to have a party at the ball, so that's real positive. and good.
And one thing that seems to have been, well, it has been prevalent throughout every game, is your team's domination in the third quarter. You know, you come out, and I know when we're watching it from the booth, we find it impressive that y'all are running sprints to start your warm-ups for the second half. But you know, really the condition your guys are in, you know, only giving up one touchdown in this entire season so far in the third quarter, and your guys scoring over 70 points. Just talk about the importance of being able to get on an opposing team quickly in the second half.
Yeah, I think it's huge. You know, I can't pinpoint why it is, but I do know that our players, we are in good shape. I feel like our guys really take their workouts and the conditioning that we do even during the season. We take it really seriously in the off season, but a lot of times there's a tendency to relax in the weight room or in your conditioning when you're in season. And I feel like our guys have really bought into to our conditioning program even during the season. So excited about that. This is another big play by Adrian Barrett. Was great for us on special teams and on defense all night long.
And right there, Mena had had a couple passes over the middle during the first half. Barrett was able to do a good job reading that, getting a pick. And again, while his touchdown isn't scored on this drive, really the field possession game, you guys are really able to flip the field and give them horrible starting field position for this drive.
Yeah, that was really big for us right there. And then defensively, I thought Anthony Jenkins Jr. I thought our defensive line really came on, especially in that second half. Did a really good job getting pressure on the quarterback there. Then we've got guys running to the football. There's the party at the ball that we want to have every time that ball is snapped. We cause them to punt deep in their own territory right here, get the football back in their territory. So really excited about the way that we were able to do that. Alex Buckley, he did a really good job for us on our downhill runs. So excited about what he's doing for us in our run game.
And we'll see right here on this play as well, but you also saw on the last drive, you have linemen out here in the flats 15 yards downfield. When you see that as a coach, what are you thinking at that point?
Well, I just, our players, I feel like our players are playing hard, and they're very coachable. They've been very coachable on, just doing their job and doing it as hard and as fast as they can. So really glad about that. And then Jeff Blake making really good decisions, taking the bubble. They have 5 down. We talked about it all week in practice. If they have 5 down, we want to make sure we take the bubble. Does a good job there taking the bubble. We get a first down and start to roll here. Alex Buckley, another excellent run right here where he really sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical, and that's what we've been coaching him to do, and it pays off.
And it seems like you have all these guys that are running that are being able to buy into that. And just a good heads-up play right here by Blake. Fumbles the snap, but gets his head back up in a very quick release to Costers. And instead of a play that could have easily been a loss, it's a gain of 7 yards.
Yeah, Jeff made good decisions all night. Costers did a great job catching that ball and knowing that Jeff would have the opportunity to throw it right there. Then our power reads working really well. We thought Jeff played through some pain in the fourth quarter. Did a really good job of just putting on more steam the entire game.
And again, kickoff coverage doing a good job here. Like you said, taking coaching well. I'm getting down there, flying around, and you have multiple 9-10 Badgers right there at the ball by the end of the whistle.
Yeah, it's really good. I feel like our players responded to that first time that we gave up that kick return. This is this is their only score in that second half. We've got to put our foot on the accelerator really right there and be better about not relaxing. We felt like we were up by quite a bit right there. We can't relax. We've got to continue to put on more steam.
And right here on kickoff return, like we've seen on punt returns during this game, really good job doing returns on that. And then right here, this play, just incredibly impressive. Costers taking the initial blow behind the line of scrimmage, using his strength, driving his feet, and getting ahead for a gain of a couple yards.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Ty is that he keeps his shoulder pads over his knees. He's able to gain a significant amount of yards after contact on every time that he does get the ball. So he's doing a great job at running back for us. He's doing a great job at wide receiver for us and at our fullback position when we change formations.
How key was it for your guys to get pressure on, especially in the second half? You have a quarterback that, for Mena, that not only is able to throw but can run. But it seemed like in this half, and right here, a huge sack by Emmanuel Cooper. He just really didn't seem to have room to breathe.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, that quarterback's a good football player. So one of our goals was to get pressure on that quarterback. We felt like we would be able to. Really excited about our D-line play. Felt like they flew around, did a great job. Another great decision by Jeff. That's a decision that we give him leeway to make right there. He saw the open space, and our goal is to take the space that the defense gives us. He took the space there, got the slant to Clay. Clay made a good catch on the ball. Then we're able to get in good enough field position to allow Cervantes to get that field goal, puts us up 40-28.
And really, at this point, your guys they're up, and still, you talk about putting your foot on the accelerator. It seems like at this point, still your guys still hungry, still trying to fight, and making big plays like the one that we see right here on the interception.
Yeah, really proud of Nathan Carter. That's a huge interception for us. Does a great job of catching that football, being in the right spot to get that turnover. So extremely proud of him. Here's another spot where we have got to get a first down. We should have got a first down, been able to run out the clock right there, but we didn't. So we have to punt and give them time. And then really, just to clarify, at the end of the game, really we were up by 12 points, and the maximum amount of points that you can have for playoffs is 13. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to try to get that extra point at the end of the game, just in case something happened. I think Arkadelphia years ago, they missed a playoff seed because they were down 1 point. So that was really the biggest thing at the end of the game. The reason why we felt like we could put the ball in the end zone right there to finish the game is to try to chase those points and get those points. But extremely proud of our football team and the way that they responded even after the end of that first half. Mena putting the ball in the end zone. Felt like they came out just like you were talking about in the third quarter, did an excellent job there, and then off the game in the fourth.
Let's go ahead and take it on down to player interviews at the Badger Fieldhouse.
Hey, I'm Mackenzie Cranford here at AHS today with seniors Chris and Theo, just to ask them a few questions. So first of all, guys, can you tell me what position you play and what else you're involved with at the high school?
I'm the kicker. I'm new to the school here, so it's pretty cool. And I'm in soccer, track, cross country, and tennis.
That's awesome. What about you?
I play defensive line, and I'm also in JRTC here in high school.
Okay, cool. All right, can you guys tell me what your favorite part about being on the Badger football team is?
Well, pretty much everything. It's a new experience for me. I've really never been part of a team this great. Coach E, he's helped me a lot, improve a lot in a lot of stuff, and kind of thankful for that.
Cool. What about you, Theo?
I guess the standards we hold ourselves up to, like the team, like last year they went undefeated in the season, like just trying to be a good team.
All right, you kind of just touched on this, but can you guys tell me some personal goals you've set for yourself this season, or just like expectations for the rest of the games?
Well, I'm trying to, finish the season great with all field goals and PATs made and perfect kickoffs and all that.
Yeah. Just to win state.
It's a good goal. That's awesome. All right, one more question. All right, since y'all are seniors, do you know what you might want to do after graduation?
Well, I've been talking to some colleges about kicking, and I'm still not sure which one I'm gonna go to, but I might do that and then just probably be like a coach after that.
I'm going to the Navy to be air traffic control.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Reporting from AHS for the J.R. Eldridge Show, I'm Mackenzie Cranford.
Underwriters for the J.R. Eldridge Show include Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance, Southwest Sporting Goods, ESPN Radio 106.9 in Arkadelphia, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold Batson Turner & Turner, attorneys at law. Here again is Jackson Carter.
Well, Coach, let's go ahead and look at some of the other scores from around the conference this past week. Obviously, Arkadelphia with the big win over Mena, 40-28. Fountain Lake in a very close game against Bauxite, 35-30. Malvern beats Waldron, 41-7. And Nashville in a game that looks pretty big against, a big score on that one. Really close until the last 4 minutes of that game. Nashville beats Ashdown 31-15. And let's go ahead and look at the next week. Waldron is at Bauxite. Fountain Lake goes to Malvern for a big game. Nashville versus Mena, 2 3-1 teams in conference. And then the game of the week for us is Arkadelphia at Ashdown. Coach, we know Ashdown has a lot of athletes every year. What are some of the things that you're scheming for this week?
Well, the biggest thing is we've got to continue to focus on being able to have maximum effort and maximum execution. I mean, those are the two things that we feel like will win a football game. And so we're going to, throughout the week, today we're going to be talking about our game plan, trying to get our players to digest that game plan and then apply it to the field. So that's the biggest thing for us is that effort and that execution in preparing for Ashdown. Ashdown does, just like you said, have a lot of athletes on the football field. They've got 5 or 6 guys that could take it the distance at any point in time. So we've got to be ready to have a party at the ball with our defense. We've got to be ready to secure the ball offensively. We've got to make sure that we're executing our blocks offensively, and then defensively we've got to make sure that we're escaping those blocks and getting to that football.
And looking at your tape with the coaches this past week, and as you're looking for, are there any things that is there anything that really stands out for Ashdown that you look at and go, well, this is what we're going to need to kind of base our defense around or offense around?
Well, Ashdown really they've been kind of all over the place offensively. So they go from spread to versus Nashville, they came out in a 21 personnel look with a tight end and 2 backs, which is not normal for them. If you ask me why they did it, I do not know. But that's what they did, and they had some success versus Nashville in that formation. So we've just got to be prepared to adapt on the run, and that's one of the things that I feel like our coaching staff's done a good job of, and our football players have just of staying calm. And if somebody shows us something that we're not used to seeing, being able to adapt and put ourselves back in a position that will give us opportunity to make plays, whether it's on offense or defense. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of stopping athletes and then also being able to put our guys in position offensively to do a good job running the football, to break up the run a little bit with the pass, get some play actions here and there. So we're just looking forward to another great week of preparation and then a good football game.
Arkadelphia 3-1 in conference, 6-1 overall. We're pretty far into the season at this point. We talked about conditioning while watching the highlights, but how important is it now, being 7 games already played into conference or into the season actually, with injuries and fatigue and that kind of stuff? How big of a part does conditioning play into this now?
Oh, I think it's huge, and we continue to have our same schedule on Sundays. We try to lighten it up a little bit toward the end of the regular season, but we want to make sure that we're trying to stay in that weight room, stay on that field to condition so that we prevent injury. That's really it's really maintenance right now. So you know, we want to preserve and maintain what we've built up to this point and be able to go out there and stay in that same conditioning level. And that's a hard balance to find, because you don't want to overdo it, because football is a rough game. And we want to make sure, I mean, our trainer's there every Sunday. Matt does an excellent job. He's there every Sunday with us for anybody who is injured. We want our guys to make sure they take care of their bodies and go see Matt to talk to him about anything that's wrong with him. But we've been fortunate, thankfully. We haven't had any big injuries. You know, Bryant Robinson has been out for the past 2 weeks, so that takes away one of our weapons offensively. Emmanuel was out for the previous 2 weeks, but you know, so some of those guys, but we found a way, you know, and that's what I'm really proud of our football team. One of the things that we talked to them about earlier in the season is, if you're a guy that's not a starter and not a major contributor, your number may be called at some point in time. So we don't want you to be a limiting factor. We want you to give us the opportunity to do what we've been doing just as well as we've been doing it, regardless of whether you're a starter or not. You can't be a limiting factor for us. And I feel like we've had guys to come in and do that. Theodis Purifoy has done a great job of that. Tolman Vo recovered that fumble on the goal line versus Fountain Lake. Then we also had Clay Wilson, who made a couple good catches versus Mena this week. So really excited about those guys who haven't played pivotal roles, but who come in and they don't limit our football team. In fact, they give us another look that we can add to our football team.
And we saw, even with Cooper in this week, we saw Purifoy get some time out there as well in the interior defensive line. But just kind of continue on that track, when you have guys that are able to buy into the system like that and know that, you know, they might not be starting on Friday nights, but that their name can get called and that they, you know, their role is just as important. How's that as a coach to have a whole team of that really just buys into that system?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important, and that's what we try to preach from the time they're in 7th grade until they're a senior in high school, is that no matter what your role is important. Whether you get 1 snap or 60 snaps. I mean, you may be the guy that's giving us a look for number 16 on Mena's football team, and you've got to do an excellent job because our guys, if we don't get that good look, then that first offense is not going to be prepared for whatever that opponent has in that game versus us. So we try to preach that. You know, a lot of guys want to have their name in the paper. A lot of guys want to be seen. Well, we try to preach the fact that we are a team, and it's not about one guy. No guy is more important than any other guy, and everybody's got a role, and their job is to execute that role.
You know, one of the groups in your team is a senior class, and a very strong senior class this year. And talk about their leadership and how it's evolved over the season so far.
Yeah, I feel like they've done an excellent job. I mean, we've got several guys who really stepped up. I mean, Jay Brooks Burnham, he's done an excellent job leading us. Anthony Jenkins Jr. I mean, I could go down the list. The senior class, they were my first 9th grade group when I got the head coaching job at Arkadelphia, and so I've seen them grow. I mean, Riley Cooper's another guy that really hasn't played a pivotal role on our team until this year as a senior, and he's done an excellent job of filling a role and doing a great job on the football field. So really excited about the way that they've kind of taken ownership. Alex Buckley does a great job. His energy level in practice, the way he's taking coaching. I mean, there's several seniors I could go down the list and talk about that have really stepped up and done a good job of leading our football team. And then also we've got some juniors that are really stepping up to be good leaders as well. So, you know, we've just got to continue to focus on playing together, working together, going to war together on Friday nights with the guy to your left, guy to your right, going to war together with your friends, really.
Well, Coach, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks for talking football, and I look forward to talking more with you next week.
Sounds good. Look forward to it.
The Arkadelphia Badgers go to Ashdown this week to take on the Panthers. We'd love to see you there, but if you're unable to make it, be sure to tune into 106.9 FM as myself, Dr. Jeff Root, and Brandon Smith had the call. For Coach Eldridge, I'm Jackson Carter. Have a great week.
The J.R. Eldridge Show is sponsored by Southwest Sporting Goods, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, ESPN Radio 106.9 in Arkadelphia. Arnold, Batson, Turner & Turner, attorneys at law. And Austin Wingfield, State Farm Insurance. Join us again next week for more Badger football action with Jackson Carter and head coach J.R. Eldridge.